2008 outside of Boston, Massachusetts. Mel, tomorrow it's got to be the new you, bitch. When that alarm rings, you can't lay there in bed and stare at the ceiling and just marinate in your problems. So that Tuesday morning, the alarm goes off. And this is where our work and research intersects, yours and mine. And so here I am at the top of my game, which I worked my ass off to become. How? I'll tell you how. I started as a beginner. If you want to be successful at something, figure out all the things that you have to do when no one's watching and do them better than anybody else. You're one decision away from a different life, and you need to push your ass through all the excuses and all the feelings and start taking action. I mean, there's always going to be an excuse not to do something. And those excuses will rob you of everything that your life could be.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mindset Mentor podcast. I am so excited to have Mel Robbins here with me. I was telling you right before we started, we have a few mutual friends that are like, yeah, you guys are going to vibe. Like you guys are very authentic. You tell everybody your shit. You both cuss. I know a lot of people in our industry don't really cuss. They kind of hold it back.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the one thing that I do appreciate about what you do is you keep things really, really simple. And I think a lot of people overcomplicate a lot of different stuff. But the thing I like most about you and all the stuff I've listened to is you might be the most authentic person in our space. Like, I thought I was authentic, but I think you're like extremely authentic. Well, you'll just pop up a reel and you'll just say exactly what's going on through your day and what you've been struggling with. And I think that's what really people appreciate, because sometimes they look at people in our industry and they're like, oh, I can never get there. They're so perfect. And I love that you share what you're going through. And I'm curious with authenticity. I know a lot of people struggle with being authentic. They have to be somebody for their mom. They have to be someone for their dad, someone for their spouse, someone at work. Is that something that you've always been good at, or is it something that's been a path that you've had to go and discover?
Great question.
Thank you.
Well, it's not something I've always been.
Mm-hmm.
I was a anxiety-ridden people pleaser with undiagnosed childhood trauma, just like everybody on the planet, right?
Right.
And I spent a large part of my childhood and my young adult and adult life lying, literally kind of anticipating and being worried about what other people would think or how they would react, and then saying whatever I needed to say in order to not have people be disappointed or to have people like me. And I guess what happened for me is that when you spend a large part of your life trying to get other people to like you and trying to do everything you possibly can so nobody's mad at you, it's exhausting and it doesn't work. And it's very liberating when you can get to a point that you can accept yourself for exactly who you are right now and exactly who you're not. And it's just easier. And so I think when I finally started to realize that I am not happy and my life is not headed in the direction that I want to go in, it just became much easier to just throw in the towel and just say, okay, I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I have good days, I have bad days. And why do I care so much about managing what other people think?
So you said your life was going in a direction you didn't really want. Was there a moment where you're like, yeah, I'm just fed up with this? Or was it one big moment, or was it just accumulation of moments where it got to like a fever pitch and you're like, I can't do this shit anymore?
Well, what's interesting is that the answer is there are those moments every week.